Hi, I'm Jen Royle with the Boston Herald, and welcome to another edition of Talk of the Town, sponsored by Aria Trattoria, one of the North End of Boston's greatest Italian restaurants, I promise. All right, I'm here at Fenway Park. It's finally a beautiful day. The Red Sox are getting ready to face the Tampa Bay Rays here in Boston, and who better to talk to on his birthday than starter Jake Peavy. We will ask him about pitching here at Fenway Park, his love for the great city of Boston, and of course his love for music, and yes, I'll throw in a question about the duck boat. First of all, happy birthday.
Thank you, Jen.
Does it feel like your birthday?
You know what, it does. I have some friends in town, some family in town, and yeah, it does. I felt special today since I woke up.
Okay, good. All right, so Jake, I know baseball is such a funny game. You guys lost 10 in a row. Clubhouse was a little weird. You win 5 straight. Now it's a happy bunch. But the story right now is the tension between the Rays and you guys. Listen, I grew up with the Red Sox-Yankee rivalry. I think this is better. What are your thoughts on what's going on with you two?
Yeah, I would certainly say that there is a rivalry building, if it's not already here to stay, with Tampa Bay. I would really say the emotions of the games that we've played with Tampa Bay in the time that I've been here have probably been higher than any other opponent we play. We play very similar baseball. It's very attention to detail oriented, and our personalities that we have on this side, playing against the personalities that they have, tends to create some drama. So a good rivalry, two good baseball teams. Yeah, I don't think many people who are baseball fans are going to miss many pitches thrown between these two teams this year, because it's been intense so far.
All right, I'm glad you mentioned the personalities. I remember in 2008, I asked Terry Francona if he had. There wasn't much turnover in 08 from that 07 championship team, and I asked him, well, does that mean you're going to win again, or is it different every year? And he said it's different every year, so I ask you the same question. Not a huge turnover. Biggest difference, of course, center field, Jackie Bradley over Ellsbury. How is this team different?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of familiar faces that the fans are very familiar with, but in some premier positions, some of the most important positions on the field, we're quite a bit different. Be an AJ behind the plate, Bogey instead of Steven Drew, and then obviously Jackie Bradley. Those, other than the man standing on the mound putting the ball in play, you would argue those three are your most important 3 positions, being the catcher, shortstop, and center field. You have to be strong up the middle. All 3 of those guys are tremendously talented and have brought a lot to the table. We just had a hard time getting on the same page and how we like to play, and you know, our language on the field, as far as, you know, last year we were such a cohesive bunch that all it took was me turning around looking at Steven Drew and going, hey, you know, and he was going to be a step or 2 in the right direction where the ball, if I executed what I was going to do, would be hit. We're still working on that, but like you said, these past few games, getting you know, on a little bit of a winning streak and getting some of those games back are helping that chemistry grow and the camaraderie.
Okay, I consulted with David Ross about this next question. He said you would not be insulted. I didn't think you were going to get a decision this year, the way things were going. 11 games started, you're only 1-2. How frustrating has it been for you out there not getting decisions? And I know the biggest thing for you is putting your team in a position to win. Yeah,
you know, I mean, that's been the frustrating part, is not winning on that day. You know, for me, personally, it doesn't mean much to me anymore what my numbers end up at the end of the year. It doesn't matter if I ended the season just how they were. If the season ends the way it did last year, you know, I'm all fine with that. And at the end of the day, when you get my age and you've been fortunate enough and so blessed enough to make some money in the game and win some individual awards, there's not much other than you show up to do than to win. And that's it. I have no alternative agenda. When I show up here, it's to find a way tonight, albeit I won't be involved in the game, but to help win and beat Tampa Bay. So it's been frustrating not winning on that day. Me not getting decisions are something that could change, could not. It doesn't really matter to me.
All right, great segue. Your biggest award, aside from getting the ring here with Boston, was the Cy Young in San Diego. But taking a look at some of the cities that you've played for, the great city of San Diego, of course,
right,
the amazing city of Chicago, and now Boston. I know the 2 things that are the most important to you, family and baseball. The city of Boston, I know how much you've shared that with your family, your sons, your grandfather, your friends, your brother, your dad. How much have you embraced this city in comparison to the other 2?
You know, I would like to say that I've embraced this city more than the others, but I don't know if I have. I take great pride in getting to know a city and getting to find out, what the people are about, what the city's about, a lot of the history. And I had a great run in San Diego where I was out there over 8 years. You certainly get to know a lot of things about San Diego, the West Coast. It was my first time, living out west. Then you go to the Midwest, into the best city that the Midwest has to offer, and there's not a better place in the world to go visit and to be in than Chicago in the summertime. Great fan bases, 2 teams, and then obviously coming here was mind-blowing, into the middle of a pennant race with all that happened in April last year with the bombings and how unfortunate that was. To watch, to be a part of a city coming together. The Bruins came so close last year, and I think the city just wasn't quite ready to heal, and lifted the spirits, but I think it only made what the spirit and stuff we had going here even stronger, and then for us to find a way to end to do what the Bruins came so close to doing, and that's bringing home a trophy to the city after what they went through. We'll never forget it. Boston will be forever in my heart. Shoot, I own a duck boat, for crying out loud. So every day when I walk out and see this duck boat, Boston is always on my mind and forever be on my mind, no matter how long I'll play here.
All right, well, the duck boat question was my last question. Just give us an update, because I know you had told me last year that you were painting it some crazy stuff. Is it done?
Yeah, no, it's not. This thing's so big and takes so many hours. I'm going to have to play another year to pay for this paint scheme that we're putting on it. But it's going to be a neat piece once it gets done. I found some good artists to work on it, and it's going to be actually some pictures of that day, the Boston Strong, the World Series logo. It'll be a really cool piece of memorabilia for, and I promise to send pictures out and all that. I'm not really good with social media, but trying to get better, and I'll send some pictures out here soon, hopefully.
Okay, last question. I mentioned the 2 things you love, baseball and your family, but music too, Jake. I've heard you sing. It's pretty amazing. How much does music play a part in your life?
Right, music's a huge part of my life. It makes my life go around. When I leave here, I don't really go home and watch SportsCenter or anything like that. I like to unwind. I like to unwind with a record and maybe an adult beverage, playing music and trying to write music. So just a good release for me. It's a huge passion of mine in life. I have some business ventures that we have, we're pursuing, just simply because you want to be involved in stuff you care about in life, and do what makes you happy. So music makes me awfully happy, and it'll be something I'll be involved with for the rest of my life.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and go out there and get some wins, will you?
Yeah, I'm gonna try, babe. Thanks.
Talk about a Southern gentleman right there. All right, that'll do it for this edition of Talk of the Town. I'm Jen Royle with the Boston Herald. Log on every Thursday to find out which Boston athlete, or not even necessarily from Boston, we'll be highlighting next.